You thought Lewis Hamilton's biggest problem at Ferrari was the car's lack of pace. But what if I told you the real pressure is coming from a man who once controlled the entire fate of Formula One, Bernie Ecclestone? And what if there's a contract clause so controversial that it could give Hamilton more power than any Ferrari driver has ever had before? This could change everything, because the evidence suggests Hamilton isn't just fighting for podiums anymore. He's fighting for control of his own destiny at the sport's most iconic team. Here are the facts that paint a disturbing picture. Hamilton joined Ferrari in 2025 in what should have been F1's fairytale transfer. The seven-time world champion finally getting his shot in the famous red car. The reality? Brutal. At the Hungarian Grand Prix, Hamilton qualified a devastating 12th position, while his teammate Charles Leclerc took pole position. Over team radio, Hamilton's frustration boiled over. He called himself absolutely useless and suggested Ferrari probably need to change drivers. But the numbers tell an even harsher story. After 14 races, Ferrari has scored less than half of McLaren's championship points. Hamilton sits with 0 podiums, while Leclerc has already delivered 5 top 3 finishes. According to Italian journalist Leo Turini, this has created a narrative where Hamilton is being made the scapegoat after Ferrari put an embarrassing car on the grid. The pressure is building from all sides. Former F1 Supremo Bernie Ecclestone has publicly criticized Ferrari's decision to sign Hamilton, calling it the wrong move for the 2025 season. But Ecclestone's criticism goes deeper. He's described Hamilton as a little bit political, suggesting this is both typical of Ferrari and typical of him. But here's where this story takes a shocking turn that no one saw coming. At first glance, this looks like a straightforward case of a champion past his prime struggling to adapt to new machinery. Hamilton is 40 years old, nearly 2 decades into his F1 career. The natural assumption is that age and comfort at Mercedes for over a decade have dulled his competitive edge. Former F1 driver David Coulthard has suggested that Hamilton's struggles are preventing what could be a perfect Hollywood F1 season. According to Coulthard, the 2025 season already features 7 different drivers on the podium and 5 different pole sitters, creating unprecedented drama and parody. Leo Turini offers a different perspective, arguing that criticism of Hamilton is ridiculous and that he's dealing with a car unworthy of his talent. According to Turini's analysis, making Hamilton a scapegoat for a car that in 14 races has scored less than half of McLaren's points is not wrong. It's ridiculous. This seems to explain everything. Hamilton is simply the victim of Ferrari's technical failures, caught in the crossfire of unrealistic expectations and a fundamentally flawed SF25 car. But the real bombshell came from Italian media reports that could rewrite everything we think we know about this situation. According to Italian media sources, Hamilton may have negotiated an exclusive right to extend his Ferrari contract through 2027, regardless of results. If these reports are accurate, Ferrari would have no power to block this extension, even if they wanted to make room for another driver. Think about the implications of this. In a sport where contracts typically balance power between driver and team, this would set a dangerous and unprecedented precedent. It would mean that even if Ferrari's leadership wanted to make a change in 2027, Hamilton stays if he wants to stay. This revelation reframes everything we've been witnessing. Hamilton's candid radio messages, his public frustration, his hints about a lot going on in the background that's not great. Suddenly, these aren't signs of a struggling driver. They're the words of someone who knows he holds all the cards. Bernie Ecclestone seems to understand this dynamic. While criticizing Hamilton's current form, Ecclestone has also suggested that if there's no improvement soon, an early split could happen. But here's the crucial part. Ecclestone advises that if Hamilton wants to leave, he should demand full payment of his contract to walk away. This isn't just about racing anymore. It's about leverage, power dynamics, and the kind of internal politics that have historically consumed Ferrari drivers. According to the evidence, Hamilton may have positioned himself to be immune from those very politics. But this power dynamic creates a scenario that could backfire spectacularly for both sides. Picture the atmosphere inside Maranello right now. You have a Formula One icon with absolute control over his future, struggling to deliver results while his teammate consistently outperforms him. The data shows Leclerc has scored all 5 of Ferrari's podiums this season, while Hamilton remains winless. For Ferrari, the longer Hamilton is perceived as the problem instead of focusing on the car's fundamental flaws, the more their internal resources may be misdirected. According to racing analysts, this could set the team back for years in their development program. The championship implications extend beyond Ferrari. As Coulthard points out, Ferrari's underperformance has left McLaren with a near uncontested path to dominance. McLaren drivers Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri are separated by just 9 points heading into the second half of the season, creating what many consider the sport's most compelling internal battle in years. Meanwhile, Hamilton's situation represents more than just personal struggle. This was supposed to be his Hollywood ending. The 7-time world champion with 103 career wins, finally getting his chance to add Ferrari to his legacy. He's not just another driver, he's a symbol, a brand, a living piece of F1 history. But the risks are enormous. If the reported contract clause is real and Hamilton can't turn his performance around, Ferrari could find themselves locked into a situation where their highest paid driver is also their biggest problem. Conversely, if Hamilton does find his form, this contract could be seen as a masterstroke that protected a champion during his most vulnerable period. The summer break was supposed to provide answers, but what happened instead raises even more questions. Hamilton has publicly vowed to reset, recharge, and come back stronger after the summer break, but the fundamental questions remain unanswered. Can Ferrari's technical team solve the SF25's underlying problems that have plagued both drivers? Will Hamilton's adaptation to Ferrari's systems finally click in the season's second half? The timing becomes critical when you consider the broader context. According to championship standings, McLaren sits 299 points ahead of Ferrari in the constructors' battle. Every race that passes without a Ferrari breakthrough makes their deficit more insurmountable. Bernie Ecclestone's comments suggest he believes Hamilton could come to life again and return to the top, but also hints that time is running out for both sides to make this partnership work. The question is whether Ferrari's leadership will treat Hamilton as a partner in solving their crisis or continue to make him the convenient face for their technical failures. For Hamilton personally, this represents perhaps his final chance to add the missing piece to his legacy. At 40 years old, with nearly 2 decades at the sport's highest level, opportunities like this don't come twice. The evidence suggests he's betting everything on this Ferrari chapter working. The next few races will determine whether we're witnessing the setup for one of motorsport's greatest comeback stories or the beginning of the end for a champion's career at Ferrari. Will Hamilton's reported contract power help him weather this storm and emerge stronger? Or will we look back at 2025 as the year Ferrari's internal politics finally claimed another champion? What do you think? Is Hamilton being unfairly scapegoated for Ferrari's technical problems? Or does he need to prove he can still deliver under pressure? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more F1 insider analysis as this story continues to unfold. The championship fight might be heating up, but Hamilton's personal battle at Ferrari could be the season's most defining storyline.